Well, today's a good day. The sun is shining. I'm feeling heat from the sun for the first time this spring. It's been pretty wet and miserable lately, and I also have a fresh sludge. This thing's been sort of elusive lately, not the cup, the actual sludge. If you've seen some of my recent videos, you probably haven't seen the sludge. Don't worry, I haven't quit drinking it. The trouble is I often drink it before I can get filming. I get out here, start looking at what I'm going to be doing, and then I finish off my sludge. At some point in the future, I will have a portable sludge machine out here, or mud as some of you call it, but for today, we're just going to have to do with this, but it's still full, so I'm happy about that. If we look up at the sawmill, we're going to fire this up in just a minute. I got that big spruce up here a while back. You probably saw it fell on the ground, and unfortunately for me, I had my tire on my tractor up on a piece of slab wood, and that slab wood was slippery, and you'll never guess what happened. The tractor, relentless as it is, brutal as it is, wiped out the top piece on my bunk there. Don't worry, I just had a few screws holding it in. This is one of the reasons I don't tend to build structural stuff with screws. They either pull out like they did, or they snap off like they did, I think, over here. But anyways, they're not on there very good, so I just bumped it ever so slightly and it did that. So we'll get those screws out, we'll put some big spikes in there, and then we'll be back in business. First things first though, with this spruce, you'll notice there's a pretty good taper on it. I'm gonna probably put a bit of a shim under this end just to level out the pith a bit better. We do have some rot in this one. Some ants got into it probably after it started rotting, so we'll see how much of the log we lose, but we certainly will make some nice lumber out of what's left over. I think that's gonna be quite a bit actually. I don't know the diameter there, but that's probably all the better part of 12 inches at the small end, so we'll call that a nice log. Anyways, we're going to fire things up. I'm going to have another drink of sludgeroo here, and we'll get down to it. Here we go. I'm going to call that sludge light. I since have gotten a upgraded sludge machine. It's actually one of those fancy automatic units. It makes sludge, cappuccino, frappuccino, hot water. I don't even know what else it makes, but it certainly makes some good stuff. And this right here is another one of those cappuccinos. I put a little bit of frothed milk in, and I think I've got a double shot of espresso. That stuff's tasty, I tell you. Anyways, here we go. Keep talking about these things, but I think they're pretty slick. I just made that thing, and well, you know how it goes. It just allows me to take my log stops from this side to the opposite. So when I roll stuff up here, I don't roll it off this side. Good enough. normally I want the log supported by as many log bunks as possible, but in this case the butt end of the log is flared out quite a bit. So instead of shimming up the far end, the small end, I'm going to push the log down a bit so that that flared end is hanging off the log bunk, and that way it can drop down a bit, and that way the middle of the log is relatively parallel with my sawmill bed. There's one thing I don't like doing. I don't like edging boards. I like a lot of things to do with sawmills, but I don't like edging boards. I try to avoid it at all costs, but inevitably you end up with some. Well, I'm just about to wrap things up here for today, at least on camera. I'm going to continue cutting more spruce. I have another piece there lying on the ground, and I think another piece just in front of it. The spruce is nice, however, it does have a fair bit of pitch. And one of the things I'll mention about pitch, if you get that building up on your blade, you can start to have wavy cuts. So you really got to watch that. What I've got up here in the lubrication tank is washer fluid, winter washer fluid. And I find, even as pitch builds up, if you get a good stream of that washer fluid going, it tends to cut the pitch. You don't even see hardly any there. Just a little bit right there. If we look back, just a little bit right there. But I'm quite confident you keep running that, it would wear it right off. So that's pretty good lubrication in my books. Anyways, just some other things here. We got a few sticks cut. We got some 2x6s, 2x4s up onto the pile today. My old friend here, the owl, he's supposed to look over things. I'm trying to keep the red squirrels from building nests in here. We make our way over this way. As I look upwards, have a look upwards. See that red squirrel nest right up there? Well, that's not the only thing I'm seeing. You may have seen that wasp, paper wasp, buzzing around a minute ago. You see right in between these rafters, you see that little golf ball sized paper wasp nest? Well, it's sort of broken open. And what I did was I put this thing up. This is supposed to replicate a paper wasp nest. Apparently they're territorial. If you put this up, it's supposed to keep the wasps away. However, if you listen very closely and you look upwards, there's a wasp buzzing around there. I don't know what's going to come of that, but all I know is I've been stung way too many times, so I'm relying on that paper wasp nest. I'm relying on that owl to keep the critters at bay. Although, you just take care of the red squirrels over here, and then they come join me in the other shed. So we'll see what happens. Regardless, we made some nice lumber. It's a beautiful afternoon out here. The sludge is still sort of hot. I can't complain overall. If you have any questions about my general setup, please make sure you put it down below. One thing I was super happy about today, aside from the lumber, is my Olympic slab wood throwing skills are getting there. I think I might be a qualifier at some point in the future. I'll have to move that a little bit further out so I can work on my distance throws. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today. Take care. Be well. See you next time.